sa lahat. Hello guys, magandang araw po sa lahat ng viewers ng The Maharlikans. Without further ado, yet she kept her promise. Let's all welcome Miss Philippines Earth Water, Miss Gianna Llanes.
Yay! Hello, hi Julius. It's nice to see you again.
Miss Gianna, thank you so much for granting your promise.
Of course, grabe, of course. Kaya
Grabe.
pa.
parang parang sabi ko, Miss Gianna, manalo. Pag manalo ka, bumalik ka. Sabi mo sa akin, kaya manalo o matalo, babalik ako. You all have me. Parang, wow, parang very flattering nung sinabi mo yun sa amin. So, Miss Gianna, how will
Because
you
I
describe
know.
yeah,
Oh, I
how
was
will you
saying it's
describe your journey?
a group of OFWs, and the OFWs are near and dear to my heart, talaga. So that's why, no matter what, I'll always be here for you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Gianna, paano mo i-describe yung whole pageant journey mo sa Miss Earth?
I know this might sound cliche, but roller coaster talaga siya kasi I had so many ups and downs. And when I say ups and downs, times na I felt, sige, kaya ko manalo. And then times na susuko na talaga ako. I mean, I would message some of my friends, some of my co-candidates, especially at the Shaney and Roxy, that I was so ready to quit. I say this in every interview. I really thought that I was the underdog, and the reason why I thought that is because wala akong medals, wala akong special awards, sa karamihan ng mga predictions, I wasn't there. And at a time like that, when it's a virtual pageant, parang binigay mo na lahat ng resources mo, binigay mo na lahat ng kaya mong i-perform, and hindi ka pa rin napapansin, you ask, what am I doing wrong? So I really had to reevaluate during those times, during those lows of my roller coaster journey. I had to ask myself, ba't ba ako sumali ng Miss Philippines Earth? Dahil ba gusto kong manalo ng special awards? Dahil ba gusto ko makakuha ng medal or mapunta sa top picks? Dahil ba gusto ko nakilala ko ng mga tao? That really wasn't it. It was to get my advocacy out there, to get my message across, and to get people going, to get people moving as well in their respective projects.
Yeah. So, ano yung ganap ka ng queen?
I'm sorry?
How does it feel being a queen? Finally, you're a queen now.
It still feels surreal. I mean, I feel like I'm just me when I don't have this crown and the sash on, and when I'm not doing interviews or when I'm not distributing relief goods. I am such a chill person normally. I'm going to let you in on a little secret right now. Underneath this gown that I'm wearing my Jordans. So I'm really I'm such a chill person. So it feels surreal that when I post a picture in a crown, everybody says, you're beautiful. Join this pageant in the future. You're a queen. Just because I think it's a complete 180 for my personality, but this is incredible. I never thought that I would be a beauty queen, much alone, win a crown in one of the biggest national pageants in our country, which is a huge pageant country. So it's definitely surreal, but I'm not going to take it for granted.
Yeah. Kasi I remember during our interview, you mentioned that you almost give up, right?
Yeah. Yes. I really did.
So, what kept you positive towards the journey? What pushes you through na kailangan ko lumaban? Despite of those hindrance?
Yeah, it was really the support system. I know everybody would say that, but for me, kasi I had a core group of people that I could turn to whenever I did doubt myself. And sinabi ko to in an interview with Michelle, sabi ko, you know what? I am fighting not to ultimately prove the doubters wrong, but I am fighting to prove my supporters right. And I did. And I was able to do that. During yung time na gusto ko sumuko, I think I told you this last interview as well. A lot of the people that support me, my family and friends, said, just wait until they hear you speak. And it's not because, I work as a host and the way I deliver. It's because I I speak with a passion, especially during the pageant. I know I spoke with a purpose and because I want to get a message across. So yun talaga yung nag-push sa akin. I think pinush ko yung sarili ko until the intelligence and environmental awareness round. And then after that, like it went uphill for me and people started noticing me. And it really shows that when you speak from the heart, when you speak with a passion, talagang makikita yun ng mga tao.
Yeah. So do you think may naging advantage yung pagiging public speaker mo nung dumating yun, no? Nung during Q&A?
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie. It does help being a TV host and a radio DJ by profession because you are just so much more comfortable talking on cam. But I think, a pageant stage or a pageant environment is different. So yes, I use those skills na magaling ako magsalita, pero I wouldn't have been able to get a crown if I didn't speak from the heart and if I didn't speak genuinely and if I didn't say what I wanted to say. So with yun nga, nakatulong being a host with that, I had to do a lot of research, had a lot of discussions with my friends and family. What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And that's ultimately what helped me too, because I was able to formulate my own opinions on what's going on around the world. And I was able to voice that out during the Q&A.
Yeah. So, what about these vlogs na hindi ka napipili sa kanilang top? What can you say about this?
You know what? It's a matter of
underdog ka nila.
Everybody has a different opinion. As much as yes, there were blogs that didn't put me on top. There were people like the Maharlikins, or there were other blogs as well that believed in me. And for me, and for them, I stood out. It's the same thing goes for the minor events. Yung long gown competition namin, national costume, all of those events. There was a panel of judges, and it's just a matter of who they like. It doesn't mean that one girl is better than the other, is better than the other. It's just a matter of taste and opinion. So for the pageant blogs that didn't put me on top, I have no hard feelings against them. I know that they evaluated in their own ways. And I hope that I can actually, shift their mindset and show them that I'm also capable of being the queen that they are looking for.
So, why do you think parang they doubted you? Sa tingin mo, bakit?
What? I'm sorry. Medyo choppy. What?
Why do you think they doubted you, your capabilities?
I don't think they doubted me. I think that there were factors, first of all, with being a virtual pageant. It's inevitable that the candidates with a grander scene, a grander background, more resources will stand out more. That's inevitable. It's a virtual pageant. Some of them have a lot of fans, so that means there are more posts about them. Mas maingay sila. That can also influence it. I don't think I was doubted. I think that, I just wasn't their preference, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, pero sa lahat ng mga vloggers dyan, gusto ko rin, do you think, gusto ko pasalamatan yung mga vloggers, by the way. Kasi kahit naging negative or positive yung sinabi nila sa'yo, it's still, publicity, right?
Yes, of course. I'm a member of the media, so I completely understand what all of those bloggers said, whether it be good, whether it be bad, whether they put me on top, whether they didn't. They were really voicing out their opinions and how they felt, and I applaud them for that because this helped bring a light to the virtual pageant. A lot of people follow Miss Philippines Earth as a virtual pageant in general, and it helped a lot when they voiced out what they had to say. And you know what? I also thank so many of the blogs for allowing me to guest. If I wasn't on their top, they still allowed me to guest on their pages, and that helped me with my publicity. Not a lot of people knew me, who I was before, but then they gave me an opportunity to speak and to answer questions and to interact with pageant fans, and that really helped with my pageant journey.
Yeah. Siyempre, parang mas lalo naging confident ka, di ba? Kasi may title ka na, and yet, parang pinuprove na sa kanila na ito, I deserve this title, blah, blah. So, mapunta tayo dun sa top 10. Na parang ikaw tayong huling tinawag, di ba?
Yes.
Ikaw ba huling tinawag? So, how does it feel?
I posted a video recently of the behind the scenes of my pageant journey that was by my amazing videographer, Pabs. You can see I was freaking out. Parang my heart when they called my name just sunk. And you can see, pinapatawanan ako ni Michelle kasi in the background, in the video, I was saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my, like I let out a deep breath. I was the last one called, and in the room, it was just my videographer and my former mentor, Tito Jonty Martinez, and we were all like holding our breath. And at that time, before they called the last name, sabi ko, you know what? If I'm not in the top 10, what was missing? But ano yung kulang sa performance ko? That's what was running through my mind at that time. Like, I was like, I know that they judge based on the 3 preliminaries. I feel like I did well naman. What was it? But then I also remembered there were so many strong girls that have yet to be called in the top 10. So I also accepted it. Like, oo nga, mas magaling yung performance nun kaysa sa akin dito. Okay lang. So parang na-accept ko na rin. It happened. So, but when they called my name, nagulat ulit ako. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, so it is fine. But you know what? It ended up being an advantage for me because being called last to top 10 also means you answer the question last. I actually heard everybody's response to their top 10 Q&A. I was able to absorb muna what kind of questions we would be asked. And I was able to take a deep breath. And I feel like being the last one called, being the last one to answer, may lasting impression rin sa mga judges.
Actually, I know the feeling. Yung parang mag-isa ka na lang. Alam mo yung parang, matatawag pa ba ako? Yeah. Parang tama ka nga na parang magkakaroon ka ng comparison na, oh, nga, mas magaling siya dito. Parang dito medyo mahina ako. Parang tama sabi na, parang ito na yung fate ko. Parang okay na siguro para matalo. At least I did my best. And yet, bigla ka natawag.
You're like, hindi lang yun. Like, that 1 minute, siguro 1 minute lang yun, bago yung interval between the person called before me and me, was the longest minute of my life. Like, the entire pageant ran through my head na during that 1 minute, yun nga, like, ano yung pagkukulang ko, ano yung ginawa ko, ano ito, ano yung dito. But it was interesting. It was also the best feeling when they called your name. It's the best feeling.
Yeah. So, sino yung mga viewers mo, yung sa actual viewers mo, giving you more support during the finals night?
Oh, the people that were actually there, really, when I was announced, were my videographer, my glam team, so my makeup artist, my hairstylist, Ate Jean Harn, who is Miss Philippines Earth 2007. She mentored me throughout the entire experience. She was there. She said, I have to be there when they announced your placing. And 2 of my Miss Mandaluyong sisters, Casey and Pat, they also were there to support me.
And then nung tinawag ka na, top 10, and then aside from top 10, yun nga, in-announce ka as Q&A, and nakuha ka pa ng title. So, how did they feel? Parang nagsigawan sila, siyempre, alam mo yun?
Yeah.
So, paano yung reaction nila?
The height of I guess the cheers were when I wasn't called as Miss Philippines. I mean, all of the rankings of the Elemental Queens are the same. But when I wasn't called as Miss Philippines Earth Fire, because they were like, oh my gosh, that is one step closer to the top crown. So talagang nagsigawan yung people. And then when they announced me as Miss Philippines Earth Water, they were still just as happy. They said, do you realize you're not underdog ka? People didn't think that you would even get into the top 10 for a lot of the predictions. And you were in the top 3 within the last 3 people left in the competition. Do you realize how much of a feat that is? So I'm still, until now, overjoyed. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'd be like, man, that's crazy. Like, what I was able to prove is insane. But I think that is just a testament that Yeah, one of my Eco Angel sisters said this. I think it was at the Shamey that when you're in a pageant, half of it is your performance and half of it is really destiny. So I feel like it was also my destiny to get this title and to get this far along with my performance.
Yeah, I mean, imagine competing with bright girls. Ilan lahat? 23 ba? 25?
33 in total.
33, see? And then bagging top 3, tapos plus with title. So parang napakalaking achievement nun para sa isang tao, di ba?
Of course. I mean, this is only my third pageant ever. Wala akong masyadong pala even during this pageant. So it really showed me that it was really performance based. I got this far because of my performance. And that makes me feel so good. That makes me feel so great as well. When all the odds were against me, eventually it turned out well for me because I gave it my all. And I think you can see that in every little thing that I did. I really made sure that I stood out. I tried to stand out to the organization. I made sure that, you know, those whatever seconds we have to answer a question or to perform, that I did my best.
Nagsakin na yung pagiging queen mo?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't. I mean, I think, you know, your major moment goal was when we had an interview with Miss Earth Crown. And lahat kami, all of us girls got really emotional. And I was talking about my lolo in that instance. My lolo who passed away around 5 days after my Miss World Philippines performance in 2018. And it moved me, or I guess it really pushed me throughout this entire pageant when I wanted to give up, knowing that his last days he spent rooting for me in my first national pageant. So I was able to talk about that during that interview, and I cried in that interview. Nakakahiya. Oh my gosh, it's posted online. But I was alone at home during that interview. So when the cameras went off, I just cried for an hour by myself. I'm like, until now, see, I'm still speechless. I still stutter when talking about this because this is a national crown. This is a crown from one of the biggest national pageants in the country. And I was always I never thought I would be a beauty queen. I never thought I would be in pageantry, much alone find success in it. So I think the fact that I got something has sunk in, but the fact that this is a crown from one of the biggest national pageants in the country has not yet sunk in.
It will take time, maybe.
Maybe it will never sink in, and I'll just be on cloud nine the whole reign. I would still be happy with that. I would love that.
Then, how was the reaction ng mom and dad mo? Especially yung dad mo na papa's girl ka, di ba? During
Yeah.
ang interview, nasabi mo na you're a papa's girl. So, anong reaction ni papa, ng daddy mo?
They're so overjoyed. Until now, they keep posting my posts. They're so happy. My parents, kasi, you know, not that they're strict, but I always wanted to exceed their expectations. I always wanted to exceed their expectations. You, as an OFW, would know this. Life is tough when you live in another country, and I saw that in my parents. So I saw them go through the hardships of establishing a life in Canada, then moving back here to the Philippines, how special that was for them, but also having to go from the ground up, going through different trials. So I always wanted to exceed their expectations and make them proud. I feel like I did that ever since I was 18, started working in college. And now this, I don't think they ever would have thought I would be a beauty queen either. And they know how tough it is, pageantry is here in the Philippines. You are nitpicked for every little thing. So when they found out that I was in, you know, the final 3 of Miss Philippines Earth, they were overjoyed, and until now they're still so proud.
Yeah. Siyempre, ang the most proud is your parents. Talagang very, yung parang anak ko yan. Alam mo, maybe yung pakiramdam nila na parang gusto nilang matuwa sa, alam mo yung grabe yung overwhelming, yung kung pwede nga lang ano, pag malaki sa buong mundo, pwede gagawin nila para yung sa anak nila.
Yes. Actually, yun yung ginagawa ng parents ko. Talagang sinasabi nila sa buong mundo. But I love them for that. And my mom has been so invested in my journey too, in that, everybody that helped me, even some of the bloggers that always posted about me, that believed in me, my mom was like, I'm going to send them a thank you. I'm going to find a way to express my gratitude to them. Because, for my parents, it was like their journey too. So this win is also their win because I would tell them first when I was crying and I wanted to give up. I would tell them when I doubted myself. When I found out that this was a virtual pageant, my mom was the first person I messaged. So this is like a win for them as well.
Yeah. Okay. Sa mga candidates ng during pageant, sino yung naging close mo?
The top three that I was really close. Well, I was already close to Roxy, our Miss Philippines Earth. We would tell each other during the pageant. I mean, we would message each other as soon as an announcement is called. After, they would award the medals, we would be like, oh, agree ka ba? Yun ba yung top three mo? Parang nanonood rin kami ng pageant together that we were in. Our struggle with resources, nag-message rin kami sa isa't isa, like, oh, kailangan mo ng swimsuit, meron ako, kailangan mo to, meron ako. Because we were already friends since we joined a national city pageant together. We actually spoke around October or November when we said we will really join Miss Philippines Earth together. Since the screening, we were together. Even pagpunta sa mga events, she would wait for me. She would always be earlier. So she would wait for me. We would always have to enter together. So she was really my best friend throughout the pageant. I'm so happy she got the title. I said, if it's not me, I want it to be my best friend. Miss Philippines Earth Pasig, Iris Mabanta. She was 5 minutes away from me. We are going to start an initiative together. So a few days ago, we distributed relief goods for the second time. We have an initiative that we are going to release this week. It's called Bughaw. And Miss Philippines Earth Fire at the Shaney, because she's been in the industry for a decade. So she knows the hardships, yun nga, yung mga self-doubt and insecurities. I would turn to her whenever I wanted to cry. And talagang nandun siya, she would call me up, make sure like you did great. Until now, she still messages me every single day to root for me. So those are the three that I can really count on.
So what are your plans during your reign as a Queen Water?
Yeah, Queen of Water. As I mentioned, I'm going to release an initiative next week. It's called Bughaw. And what it aims to do, it empowers women and the youth to contribute to society. So Iris and I are going to continue to distribute relief goods to those who are affected by natural disasters, or just to the youth who don't have a home right now during this pandemic. Yeah, so we're going to release that next week, and then I will continue to work with nonprofit organizations, Protect the Frontline and Pantawid COVID Project. So I already distributed relief goods as well for Barangay La Paz with Pantawid COVID Project. As soon as I was crowned, a couple of days later, I made sure no time is wasted. And then with Protect the Frontline naman, what it aims to do is distribute PPEs, distribute meals to our medical frontliners across the Philippines. And then, so those are my hands-on work that I really want to, just get my hands dirty and get to work now with that. But my advocacy is natural disaster risk education. So I'm already talking to the Department of Education how we can digitize the talks that I gave to the public schools in Mandaluyong a few months ago. So it's accessible to all students across the Philippines. I presented my natural disaster know-how talks already to a school in Cagayan a few days ago. So talagang it shows that everything's virtual right now. You can really communicate with people through the screen. And then as Miss Philippines Earth or Water, it's so perfect for me because I'm always at the beach, like 70% of the time. I'm at the beach, I'm swimming, I'm getting a tan. Kaya medyo I'm ill na ngayon kasi ang tagal ko nang hindi nagbe-beach. But I'm already talking to some of the coastal communities that I visit on how we can do coastal cleanups, find programs for indigenous communities around those coastal communities, and also how to educate people more on preserving marine biodiversity. So yun yung mga initiatives that I really want to work on during my reign. But as a member of the media rin, one of my biggest purposes is to use my platform to allow especially the youth to talk about their opinions, how they feel about what's going on within our country and in the world. My top 10 question was about, fake news. And I also inserted how freedom of speech is so important right now. So that's something that I want to advocate for.
So, what can you say about these beauty queens na very opinionated about these current events?
They're risk takers, and we need more of those. Pageantry has shifted in the past few years that it's more than just a woman or a man who is beautiful. Pageantry right now, people are listening to you. People want to know what you have to say. So I actually applaud beauty queens who are using their platforms to voice out their opinions, because we need more of that. And that was actually one of my struggles during Miss Philippines Earth. Sabi ko, what if I voice out my opinion and it ruins my chances of getting a crown? But a lot of the queens reminded me that, well, first of all, you need to know where your priorities are and your purpose of being in this pageant. And second of all, as a queen, there's a proper way to voice out your opinions while still being respectful of the opposition. So that's what I turned to, and yeah.
Oh, kasi ang daming bashings, di ba?
Yeah. Ang daming bashers.
Especially pag beauty queen ka, you might as well parang you need to balance, your opinion, kasi it might push you up or push you down yung maging result ng opinion mo, right?
I agree. Ang daming bashers, but I think that if you are a queen with adequate knowledge, if you've done your research, if you've had conversations with your family and friends, then and you still are so strong with this opinion, you can back it up, then it's no problem. Those bashers mean nothing to you.
Yeah. So my title, sa tingin mo, what difference this title will gonna make you in your career?
Well, I'm a sports reporter by profession. A sports reporter, I'm a radio TV host, and being a beauty queen, will, lalo na dito sa Pilipinas where pageantry is so huge, I think it will honestly help my career in showing that it goes both ways. As a beauty queen, I can show that I can be a sporty girl as well. I'm outgoing, I'm down to earth by my other professions as a radio DJ and a sports reporter and a TV host. And then doing all of those, now with this beauty queen title, I feel like people would want to listen to me more as well, because I am speaking not just for the purpose of entertainment. I'm also speaking because I want to send out a message, because I have my advocacies.
Siyempre, with this title, meron kang self-responsibility. You have these bills to pay, your job, your job. So how are you gonna handle these things?
I take it one day at a time. I'm very organized. I really am. I plan things out on my phone by the hour. As in, like, 9 o'clock wake up, 9:30 this, 10 o'clock this. And I also make sure that I keep myself mentally stable by taking at least an hour of every day to relax, lie down on my bed sometimes, to watch Netflix or YouTube videos, to just get away from the hustle and the bustle of the entire world around me. That has been really helping me a lot. And I think it helps a lot, again, that I started working since I was 18. And back then, my parents wouldn't drive me to work from school. I would have to do it on my own. So that would help me too in keeping myself organized and knowing where my priorities are. But also, I want to add, now what this quarantine has shown me too, before this quarantine, I worked 6 jobs. what it's shown me
Mm.
as well is I need to spend more time with my family and friends. So that's what I'm trying to have more of now.
Mm. Are you planning to enter show business soon? Pag may opportunities?
I've done some, I've done some episodes. I've done some projects with the major networks here in the Philippines. And of course,
Mhm.
I'm used to being in front of the camera as a TV host. I want to even push my career as a sports reporter more. I applied for the NBA last year, and I don't live in Canada or the States, so I didn't get in. But I'm hoping that I can actually push my career as a sports reporter more. I can do more acting. I don't know how far it will go because I also want to pursue my master's and try to get a PhD in psychology in the University of Toronto next year or the year after.
Mhm. Kumusta pala si inspiration mo?
My parents, my family. Yeah, well, my boyfriend, my partner, he is also, his parents are also OFWs. They're in the States right now, so he's alone here in the Philippines. And he wishes he was there during my coronation, pero he's a basketball player by profession. And unfortunately, walang
Mhm.
basketball season, until next year probably. So he is working now as an English teacher, and he is packed with work,
Mm.
really packed with work. So he wasn't able to be there, but he is so so proud. I think mas masaya pa siya with the crown and the sash, like with this title, and that I won than me, because every day he would remind me, like, oh my gosh, you won! Do you realize, like, this is amazing? So yeah, I definitely had a great support system from my family and friends.
Very supportive si boyfriend, no?
Yeah, and he was commenting on the live, and I'm guessing he has a class now. But oh yeah, super supportive.
Wala, lalo dun sa like, napag yung interview mo kay Miss Mitch na, oh, hindi ka naman nag-gym. Ano ba? Ano ba? Parang he's pushing you para mag-gym, mag-yoga.
Yeah. Yes. He never made me feel like, for him, like I'm the most beautiful. Never made me feel insecure about the way that I look. But something he always pushed me for was taking care of myself mentally. He knows what I've been through, so have my friends and my family with mental health. So that's why he would always encourage me, make sure you do some yoga, you work out to stimulate your brain and to make yourself feel good as well. And I think that's also what I really appreciate about my support system, is that they knew the importance of staying mentally stable during the pageant.
Siyempre, being a title holder, being a queen, hindi ka nakakaramdam ng parang reminder sa boyfriend mo na, oh, ayan na, mag-ingat ka dyan na, oh, baka manligaw yan sa'yo. Alam mo, parang siyempre kahit paano, magkakaroon ka ng parang insecurities, wala bang gano'n si boyfriend?
You know what? We work together in Maharlika Filipinas Basketball League. That's one of the biggest basketball leagues here in this country. And during the first season, ako lang yung courtside reporter. So imagine mo yun, 10 teams. Each team had 20 players, so around 200 players. And he was part of one of the teams. And I think that was really like, not naman the test of our relationship, but it really stabilized it. That we have nothing to worry about. I mean, sure naman as a professional basketball player, marami siyang mga fans. But we respect each other's professions and we trust each other as well. We're both pretty mature for our ages, because we're both so independent. So I think when it comes to petty things like that, wala naman problem.
Ilang years na ang relationship niyo?
So we've been together around 2.5 years, a bit more than 2.5, almost 3 years.
Good luck.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is weird. Nobody really asked me about my boyfriend, so it's interesting. But he's a very public.
Nung bata ka pala, mapunta tayo nung kabataan mo, wala ka bang kartehan? Na, ay, may ipis! Ay, may dragon!
No.
Then
I was such
sumisigaw
a
ka, hindi ka naman
tomboy as a
ganun.
kid. Asked my parents, like, may kuya kasi ako, he's 5 years older. So siya pa yung medyo like maselan. And ako, kung may ipis, ako yung papatay para sa kuya ko. So when I was a kid, I mean, you can check out pictures of me. Talagang, I was a complete tomboy. I had my kuya who's 5 years older. I have a cousin who I grew up with as well, and he's the same age as me. So I was with these two guys all the time. Lagi ako nahuhulog sa bike. My mom always makes fun of me. I have so many scars from falling off the bike, trying to rough it up with the boys. I played basketball for 7 years. So talagang no room to be maarte. Until now, even as a queen, like, pag sinasabihin ako na, huy, may konting ano yung makeup mo, I have no idea, I don't notice. Or, huy, ayusin mo yung buhok mo, I'm like, I thought it looked good now. So I'm still getting used to, you know, being girly and the glitz and the glamour.
Meron ka bang allergies sa food or anything? Like, pag nakakain ka, papantaling ka, meron ka bang ganun?
Bananas, saging!
Totoo. Bakit saging?
Hindi ko alam kung like na-traumatize ako ng bata. Pero pag kumakain ako ng saging, parang it's a gag reflex. I don't know why, pero yung taste lang ng saging. Pero, hindi ako sa balot. As in, yun yung isa sa mga top favorite foods ko.
So, pag kumakain ka ng balat, ayan, ipakita mo yung sisiw gumagalaw-galaw pa?
Oo, yes. Kasi when I was living in Canada, there's a festival every year for Filipinos, for the Filipino community there. So I think I was around 7 years old. Pinakain ako ng nanay ko ng balot. And I think she gave me 7 balots. Nakakain ako ng 7 na balot in one day. And hindi ko alam ano yun. Akala ko itlog lang. So it wasn't until I moved to the Philippines where people were saying like, do you not realize this is something people think is gross? May sisiw nga sa loob. I have no idea. So until now, like, pumupunta ako sa mga beaches or like local communities, yun talaga yung hinahanap namin ng boyfriend ko because we both grew up somewhere else where we didn't think balot was disgusting.
Miss Gianna, makapag-share ka ba ng beauty secrets? I mean, ano yung mga regimen mo?
Well, I'm going to be honest, I've always struggled with acne, skin problems when I was younger. It's hereditary, part of it's hereditary. So what I learned throughout the years is, especially last year, it's sa mga New Year's resolutions for last year, you just really have to find the right products for you, get yourself in a routine, and make sure to pamper yourself. For me, pampering myself is an investment. So I try to get a massage. I try to get a facial at least every month.
Yeah.
I make sure I always have my water with me. Always, always, always. Talagang, ito talaga, I get like terrified when this is not with me. I make sure I always drink a lot of water. And lagi ako natutulog. As in, lahat ng extra time ko natutulog ako. So, nung wala pang quarantine, pag lumalabas yung friends ko until 2, 3 a.m., either hindi ako pupunta kasi tulog na ako, or aalis ako ng mga 12 dahil gusto ko matulog.
Like, pag yung normal days, like busy ka, working, and then at least how many hours dapat yung work mo, yung sleep mo? May part ka ba na dapat maka 7 hours ako today?
7 hours. 7 hours.
6 hours. 7
Yeah.
hours. All right.
I-adjust ko yung schedule ko if I don't get the 7. Pero 8 talaga is my goal. At least 7 pwede na. If like less than that, medyo don't talk to me for the whole day.
Miss Gianna, may tanong pala dito. Sabi niya, about dun sa photo mo na naka-blue gown ka, bakit daw fierce ang emote mo dun?
May pictures ako actually. Hindi ko pa release na nakangiti. But that was the picture that I like the most. Yun lang. I mean, we're gonna post more on the Miss Philippines Earth page. And I'm so excited because I had a photo shoot in the same studio last Sunday. Ang dami kaming nakuwang shots, but pakonti-konti lang muna.
By the way, sino pala ang designer mo sa sa gown mo?
Is it the green gown during coronation or yung suot ko nun?
Yung green gown, the green gown.
So, the story of the green gown, I'll show you. So, dapat ito yung gown ko for coronation. Dami kong picture, wait lang. Yung naka-cape, this was supposed to be my coronation gown.
I see, okay.
This is
Okay.
by Mikey Andre. Love Mama Mikey, who is a Mandalena designer and designs for the biggest national pageants in this country. So I was really set on wearing that, which would have been perfect for water, you know. But the green gown specifically is made by John T. Martinez, who is my former mentor before I started training with Kagandahang Flores. And unfortunately, Tito John T. shop, because he's a pretty well-known designer here in the Philippines as well, Tito John T's shop closed because of the quarantine. So that really broke my heart. And I told Tito Rogil of KF, Tito Rog, I really need to wear John T. Martinez creation in honor of Tito John T. So that's why the green gown came about. I actually shot with the green gown before, and that was supposed to be my long gown official shot for Miss Philippines Earth. Pero, nagka-problema ako sa editing. Hindi ko ma-edit ata yung floor. Ako edit ng pictures ko. Hindi ko ma-edit yung floor. I had another shoot na lang with the pink gown. So Tito John T's like, you know what? That's Mom Lorraine's favorite color. It's gonna be perfect. And yeah, I love that gown. Probably one of my favorites that I've ever worn. Ang ganda niya, may cape siya dito, and ang taas ng slit, and just the shape is so flattering.
Yeah. So, meron ng homecoming tawag doon. Homecoming para sa'yo. Like sa Mandaluyong, na meron nakalagay na congratulations, Miss Gianna Llanes for
I messaged LG the next day. So may malaking tarp sa Mandaluyong City Hall. I have yet to see Mayor Menchie Abalos because her father-in-law and mother-in-law are currently in the hospital because of COVID-19. But hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be able to see her.
Miss Gianna, can we just entertain some questions sa ating viewers?
Of course!
Sabi dito, you bloom a lot right after being crowned.
Wow, thank you. Thank you! I'm back to work now. As you mentioned, I have to pay for the bills, so I feel like I'm more stressed now, but thank you. It makes me feel better.
Sabi din. Do you have any plans in joining another national pageant next year or after years?
That I've been asked that so much, and I'm so flattered that people think that, you know, I can push through and that I am good enough for national pageants here in the Philippines, lalo na dahil medyo intense ang pageantry here in the Philippines. Right now, I want to just savor being Miss Philippines Earth Water. I'm 25 years old, and as I mentioned, I really had plans originally to pursue my master's in psychology to eventually get a PhD in psychology in the University of Toronto. So I'm going to savor, you know, this title and my reign for the next year. And if I still feel like it's incomplete and that I want to do more, then I will join another national pageant, whether it be in the Philippines or representing the Filipino community in Canada. I have yet to decide.
So wala ka pang plans like yung nasa isip mo na for now?
Wala pa akong official na pageant na gusto kong salian.
Salian, in the meantime.
In the meantime. We also don't know what's going to happen because, I mean, we don't know when this pandemic's going to end.
My question dito, how would you react to your fellow Eco-Angels being bashed right after NPE?
Yeah, that's not fair. I'm not okay with that at all. I have to applaud and acknowledge all of my Eco Angel sisters for what we've been through the past 6 months. The Miss Philippines Earth ran for pretty much 6 months from, you know, calling out for auditions, the screening, and all of the events. It was not easy. And after I got this crown, a lot of my Eco Angel sisters messaged me saying, we felt like we were underdogs too. We wanted to quit as well. We had our own situations that we were dealing with too, and a lot of people didn't know that. So it's not fair to be bashing people. I mean, it's inevitable if you're in the public eye, if you join pageantry. But before you say something negative about a candidate, think about what they went through in the past 6 months as well. Think if you can do better, which you probably cannot, because these women all have a purpose and they had that drive and they had that passion. And instead acknowledge and celebrate what they've been through and what they will continue to push for even past this pageant, with or without a title.
Yeah. And besides those judgment, those bashings, I mean, it doesn't define you as a person.
No.
So parang, di ba?
Yeah, and more likely, these people don't know who you are. They maybe have just seen one
Yeah,
picture,
exactly.
a quick snippet of you. They don't know anything about you to be saying something negative.
So what can you say about these indecent proposals sa mga beauty tight list?
Well, you know what? As a beauty queen, you can't do anything about if you are proposed to. You can't tell the people like, stop, don't do that, because I know that there's a level of respect as well. But also remember your position as a woman, your value as a woman, and what you think of yourself and your morals. So I think with the indecent proposals, the easiest way is to just say no. And if they say that's going to cost you the crown, you ask, is me losing respect for myself as a woman really worth it for a crown?
Yeah. Saka sa ano, I mean, paano ba yun? May gusto kong tanong sa'yo kasi wala, nakalimutan ko.
Okay lang. Remember first, oras naman tayo.
Alam mo ba, up to now, kinakabahan pa rin ako.
Okay. This has been going for 47 minutes. Kaya mo yan. We've been doing it.
Yung question, my question dito, like, how can you be the voice of, like, yung water problem, water pollution? What can you say about this?
I'm sorry, medyo choppy ka. Can you say that again, Julius?
Yeah, di ba may problem tayo ngayon sa water, sa pollution. How can you be a voice para about this issue?
Well, what I've been saying since the beginning of the pageant is that every small action can create a bigger, positive, beautiful reaction. So we must seize every opportunity. And not only do I want to be an eco angel and sending out that message, but I want to be an example of that as well. Now, I want people to rationalize more on the situation of the Philippines and how feasible it is, especially for marginalized communities, to take care of their resources. Because those in marginalized communities are just living day by day and truly trying to provide for their family. And sometimes they're not thinking about the long-term effects of the environment. So it's up to the people with the luxury to make more sustainable choices, to truly set examples for everybody and to provide access for everyone as well. Now, for me, with my initiative of Bukhaw, that's what I want to show. I want to show that, your societal status doesn't make you less capable of making a difference. It's just lending that helping hand to one another. So I'm, as I mentioned, kanina, I have so many hands-on projects that I want to do, but I also want to continue to use digital platforms to talk to the youth, especially because it really is up to the youth with how they take care of the environment to see if our future is going to be great.
Yeah. May projects ang nakaline up sa inyo mga queens?
Yes, all of the queens, I believe, have their own respective projects upcoming. Roxy and I are actually going to see each other on Tuesday with our own project. So everybody's already working up something. I don't know if you noticed, yung batch namin, just all the 33 girls in general, sobrang competitive. So talagang, everyone's really trying to get going.
So, any words of encouragement sa ating viewers?
Yeah, you know what? Mahirap eh. We're in a pandemic right now, and amidst the pandemic, there are
Mm,
so many things happening across the world. You think it's just one negative thing after the other. Will we really be able to rise from this? But remember that even though you're just one person, you can still play a part in getting us out of, out of this sorrow, out of this pain. You can do that through love, respect for everybody you encounter, and acceptance for differences. And I think that's what we need right now. Even during this pandemic, we are all fighting the same invisible enemy. So please try to be diligent in doing your part.
mm. So, mga sponsors mo, Gianna, you wanna thank them?
Oh, sure. I do want to thank everybody that helped me out and supported me throughout my pageant journey. God, but there's so many people that I have like a list. But to all of my designers, thank you so much. To my glam team, to my videographers, to my mentors, to my friends who were there every single live, to all of the pageant blogs that invited me to do a live on their page and got my name out there. To all of my supporters. Grabe, there's just so many people. To my Kagandahang Flores family. Thank you so much for really pushing me, and most of the time, honestly, seeing something in me that I had struggled seeing myself. So maraming salamat, because more than rooting for me as a beauty queen, you were cheering for me as a woman who is learning to accept and love herself too. So it's crazy how much of a growth, of a personal growth I felt in these past few months, and I hope to continue to grow with your support.
Again, Gianna, thank you so much for keeping your promise and congratulations. Good luck sa reign mo for this
Thank
2020. And sana maging fruitful ang reign mo.
Thank you, thank you. I will make sure that it's fruitful. So thank you for that. I hope to be able to meet all of you guys very soon. And thank you for having me on here as well. Of course, I'm going to keep my promise. I had so much fun during our last interview. So
Thank you so much, Gianna. Thank you so much. Good luck. Thank you so much, Gianna.
thank you. Bye. Thank you to everybody that watched.
Na-relieve na ako. That was Gianna Llanes of Miss Philippines Earth Water. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Maraming salamat po. God bless. Keep safe.